Once upon a time, there was a monk who lived in a small hut in the forest. He was a kind and gentle soul, but he was also very strict with himself. He believed that the path to enlightenment was through suffering, and he was determined to endure any hardship that came his way. One day, a terrible drought struck the land. The monk's hut was soon surrounded by dry, cracked earth and withered trees. He had no food or water, and he began to weaken from hunger and thirst. But the monk refused to give up. He continued to meditate and pray, even though he was barely able to stand. He knew that, if he could just endure this suffering, he would be closer to enlightenment. One night, the monk had a vision. He saw himself standing on a mountaintop surrounded by lush green forests and sparkling rivers. He knew that this was the vision of enlightenment, and he was determined to reach it. The next day, the monk began to climb the mountain. He climbed for days and nights, through heat and cold, hunger and thirst. His body was racked with pain, and his mind was determined. Finally, after many days of struggle, the monk reached the summit of the mountain. He looked out at the world below, and he saw that it was a beautiful and bountiful place. He knew that he had finally achieved enlightenment. The monk returned to his hut and continued to live a simple and humble life. But he was no longer the same monk who had left. He was now a wise and compassionate being who had overcome great suffering to achieve enlightenment. The struggle of the monk teaches us that it is possible to overcome any obstacle, no matter how difficult, if we are determined and have faith.